back to the Matt M. Show, episode 97, Nuclear Warfare. We're here today with Ana Soto, aka Granny, to see her facts on the matter about nuclear warfare. Ana, great to have you here again.
Thank you very much.
We're going to get straight into this. Tell me what you know about nuclear warfare.
I know that it was, I don't know exactly who developed it, but it is normally called the atomic bomb, which was used to end World War II against the Japanese.
So you're saying the atomic bomb is the only thing that a nuclear warfare could form from, or are there other bombs?
There are probably other things that can be used, but I'm only familiar with the atomic bomb.
Okay. Tell me your take on what nuclear warfare what would it impact the Earth? How would it impact the Earth?
I don't know too much about it, but from what I understand, it would probably create fires and smoke, and you would be unable to breathe. You would have to probably take shelter in a special atomic bomb shelter, which is what we were trained to do when we were in grade school, because at the time I was in grade school, there was a Cold War, and there was the threat of nuclear warfare with Russia. And so when we were young and in school, we used to have to go to the lowest level, the basement of the school, and cover and just kneel over and put our face down and everything, just for us to be fairly safe. But we were always at the bottom basement level.
Okay, so give me your take on what you agree with and disagree with some of the actions taken by governments about nukes or nuclear warfare.
Well, I agree that nuclear warfare should be regulated because there are so, especially now with the threats from ISIS and all of these groups that are coming against the United States. I think it should be regulated and used with great discretion.
Okay, so what is your main concern about nuclear warfare and what it could cause to the world?
Well, it certainly would be it's a threat of actually extinction of the population. It's that devastating, and so we should not go into any kind of war now, especially with threats from Korea and probably, I don't know if ISIS has any access to the nuclear weapons, but it would be devastating to the whole world.
Do you think countries should have nukes or bombs?
They're already here. I don't think that even if I didn't want them to have them, they are here and it's a reality. And so what we need to do is make sure that they're not in the hands of people that can destroy the country, the whole world.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be all for Granny. And we are going to be going into another interview with someone else. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome back. We're here with interview 2 with Duty. Duty was a Vietnam veteran, and he's going to give us his take on nuclear warfare. Duty, great to have you here. So we're going to get right into this, like the past interview. were you aware of nuclear warfare while you were in Vietnam?
Well, while I was in Vietnam, the word nuclear was never mentioned because we were so busy working, fighting, whatever it had to do to to do our jobs, and the nuclear war thing has never mentioned. We were so busy, and that's basically, well, while I was there, I never heard of the word nuclear war.
Do you think people should be educated about nuclear warfare?
I don't think people should know about nuclear war. If everybody would be educated about nuclear war, that would increase the danger about what nuclear war does. What nuclear is. If it doesn't affect you then, it'll affect you afterwards. You know, the residue, the smell, whatever lingers around. It's like a disease. It'll kill you. If it doesn't kill you there, it'll kill you in a couple of years or whatever.
Thank you, Diddy, for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a Vietnam veteran who's been giving his take on nuclear warfare. Thank you.
Thank you very much for asking me.
Welcome back to interview 3 on the topic of nuclear warfare. Here we have Cassie Montes, otherwise known as my sister, and we're going to be giving her some basic questions on the topic of nuclear warfare. And we want to see what the newer generation has to say about it. Let's jump right in. Thank you for coming, Cassie.
Thank you for having me.
Cassie, do you know what nuclear warfare is?
I just know that it's a really big bomb.
What would you like to know about nuclear warfare?
Like, why was it created and other stuff that it does besides, like, big bomb.
Okay, thank you very much, Cassie, for your time.
Thank you.
That was horrible. Welcome back. We are complete with the interviews, and now I'm just going to be going into those questions that they had and trying to find the answers to them. So, nuclear warfare is a military conflict or political strategy in which nuclear weaponry is used to inflict damage on the enemy. In contrast to conventional warfare, nuclear warfare can produce destruction in a much shorter time frame. It can have a long-lasting radiological warfare dimension. In order to know what nuclear warfare is, we need to know what a nuclear weapon is, and here's a brief description. A nuclear weapon is an explosive device that derives its destructive force from nuclear reactions. Either fission or a combination of fission and fusion, both reactions release vast quantities of energy from relatively small amounts of matter.
People don't realize if this happens, there is the possibility for extinction of the human race. Just 1 degree difference in the temperature can destroy the coral reef. A major global war could kill 400 to 500 million people. This totals about 10% of the world's population. Radioactive heat and local fallout causes changes in the environment. We cannot have a nuclear war. If we do, the world as we know it would not be the same.